Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Welcome to this live stream, Sunday live stream for Ramadan, where I answer your questions. My name is Zakat Zaman, and my roots of knowledge, my YouTube channel is called Roots of Knowledge. So you guys can check out the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Share the video and the channel with others so that others can benefit. All right, so I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. As you can tell, I'm having a nice week as well. I just came back from a janaza. SubhanAllah, so many janazas this past few weeks. Brother Abdul Majid, his father passed away this week. So that was one I attended, and then before that, a week before that, there was another that I attended, and then today I attended one, and before there was another one. It's about 4 or 5. SubhanAllah. May Allah give us an easy end that Allah is pleased with. Abu Bakr, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, and welcome. Abdullah, I'm on iftar right now. MashaAllah, Mubarak. We've got about 2, maybe 3 hours left. 3 hours left for iftar in the UK. And this week I also put up the video of Surah Yusuf as well. So Surah Yusuf videos put up. Alhamdulillah, finally managed to finish it. And Alhamdulillah, it took a very long time. At the moment I'm working on Surah Ra'd. It's almost finished. Inshallah, hopefully, I was thinking of recording it today, but today will be a bit difficult because I've got a radio appeal this week, inshallah. Well, today actually, radio appeal for Gaza. So I'll be going there, inshallah. And then I'll be there till late, inshallah. So that's basically the week for me, or the day for me rather. Okay, let's check out some of your questions that you guys have, inshallah. Try to answer those. Okay, let's see what kind of questions. Okay, so are you planning on doing guns? Not at the moment, no. Maybe later on, inshallah, maybe in the future, later on. Okay, so here are some questions. I'm going to answer these. These are from the Curious Cat one. I cut my hair and then immediately went to make ghusl to remove myself from major impurities. While my hair was being cut, I felt pain as when a shaver would hit my ear or when it would be pressed too hard down on my skin. I fear it's bleeding. I asked the barber if he saw any blood and he said no. I also checked using a tissue but found a small amount of blood near my ear. I checked a couple of minutes later around where it could be bleeding and also I could not see it. I found no blood. The shaver also hit my nose and I checked blood. I made ghusl and there was pain near the area of the wound, but I did not check after ghusl. After waking up Fajr, I did feel pain in the sides of my head. My hair. I also remember having some naughty thoughts before. So in ghusl, I don't know if... Okay, so you suffer from waswasa, my brother. Okay, so ignore it all and you're fine. Yeah, so this kind of degree, I would say, this degree of investigation and things is just not really normal. So if you are suffering from this, if you are having this level, then you're suffering from waswasa. Yeah, so you got a lot of waswasa there. Okay, next one. We are in times of boycotting is really important. I found our Barclay card. I have always been. Should I change? No, stay with them. So look, when it comes to boycotting, don't boycott everything because this is going to take too much out of you. Boycott the main things. So boycott the main organizations, FOA and BDS mention. So you can't boycott everything in your life. Boycott the main ones. Try to boycott the main ones. What do you think about the book Nul Idah? Do you teach it? I used to teach it, but not at the moment. Yeah, so it's a good book to study. I would say it's a good book to study after you've studied Quduri. Yeah, Kuduri or something like that. Wa alaikum assalam, Kuwaiti, ahlan wa sahlan. Wa alaikum assalam. Tawsif Siddiq, wa alaikum assalam. In Germany where I live, the Ramadan calendar from different masjids have different starting times for Fajr, like one has 4:23, when to end suhoor. What I would suggest, I don't know exactly what's happening in Germany. I would say speak to someone in Germany, a scholar in Germany. They'll be able to explain to you better. I don't know what rulings they're using to identify what time. You can follow your own local masjid. As long as you pray with your local masjid, you can follow your local masjid and stick to their timetable, inshallah. Otherwise, I don't really know exactly in Germany how they're measuring the salat times or the Fajr time. Kuwaiti, I went to Qatar and prayed on the plane. I tried to gauge it from sun, but I never accounted for the time differences between countries. I may have missed Asr. What do you think I should do next time? Next time, you can probably work it out beforehand. Maybe you can work it out beforehand. If that's going to be too difficult for you, then you can make up your salats later. Yeah, so delay all of your salats until you're sure you know that the salat has come in, even if you're out of the time, and then pray later. I am following Adhan app at the moment, which has closer to 4:23. I don't know how the Adhan app works, so I wouldn't be able to vouch for that. So again, what I would say is follow your local, whatever your local masjid is. That would probably be the safest. How can I improve my iman? Read the Quran more, inshallah. In the masjid, a lot of people, when they say the takbir, they raise the hands not to the level of the shoulders, but at the level of the belly. Is that this bid'ah? No. There's different opinion, different madhabs. I don't know exactly what all the madhabs say. According to the Hanafis, you should ideally raise it up to the ears. I am giving a loan to a friend to invest in his business so he avoids interest-based loan from bank. He would also give me some Sharia-based profit in his. Do I need to pay zakat on this amount? Yes, if you have that amount on your day of your zakat, then you have to pay zakat on it. The Alimia I attend does Nul Idha 1 year before Qudur. Yeah, some do. It's fine. I prefer doing it after. Yeah, I prefer doing it after. Many madaris they actually do it in the first year. Yeah, so it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I prefer doing it after. And the reason is because students get to see the gradual progression of the madhab. What books came early and this. So when you study an early book first and then a later book, it puts things into a lot of perspective. Ihsan wa alaikum assalam. Ahla wa sahlan. I hope you're doing well and that your Ramadan is going even better. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair, my brother. I want to ask you 2 questions. Yesterday, I accidentally broke my fast literally just a minute too early, since my prayer apps widget had a bug and showed me the Maghrib time of the day before. Will I have to do qada of yesterday's fast? Yes. So if you broke your fast too early, then you have to do qada of it. And second, I heard conflicting opinions on when one should say mashallah and when Allahumma barik. I've never come across those. One said they're interchangeable, so I use them interchangeably. Totally fine. Aisha Fazal, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, mashallah, very good. I hope you're well, I hope your holidays are going well, and I hope your problems and issues have been resolved. How can I quit movie? Try to do something else. Yeah, try to distract yourself with something else. Okay, Hassan, Ahmad, salam, was lovely meeting you. Oh yeah, mashallah, Hassan, ahlan wa sahlan, yes. I met my brother Hassan, mashallah, this week at Sofa, Tarawi. Mashallah, it's very nice to meet you, my brother Hassan. Very nice. And hopefully, inshallah, we'll be meeting again. Actually, I had a talk yesterday in Rochdale, which is like a 2-hour drive. And I went there, mashallah, met some guys there as well. And one of the Imams up there, Mullah Asad, he's an Imam at what is known as the Neeli Masjid. So it's known as the Neeli Blue Masjid, basically. And he, mashallah, is a very nice Imam. Originally from Bradford, but he's an Imam there. Very, mashallah, he's hardworking. He's studied in many different places around the world. And he was telling me in London, he met a guy who said that he's benefited from Roots of Knowledge more than he's benefited from Medina University. I don't know how accurate that is, but mashallah, if you guys are benefiting from my channel, my videos, and may Allah bless all you guys. Put barak in your time and your efforts. Yeah, so ihsan, there's nothing from the early scholars that I've ever come across that ever differentiated between Allahumma barik and mashallah. Nothing I've come across. Wallah. If you do find anything, forward it to me. I'll have a look into it. A few questions I have for you regarding Nahu Sarf in the Alimiya program. Could you explain a bit more about what you said about praying on the plane? Yeah, so praying on the plane, basically what you do is you try to work out roughly beforehand what time the salats are. If you can't work them out, then you delay all of your salats as much as possible, even if it goes outside the time, and pray, because on the plane you're obviously in a difficult situation. Yeah, so you delay. So let's say, for example, Zohar, you're not sure if it's Zohar time yet. Just delay as much as you can, and then pray. So at least you've prayed it late as possible, or even if it's in Asr time. Aisha, Ustad, mashallah, jazakallah khair for the live stream. You're welcome. You're welcome. حجة الآن أدرس النحو مع الأستاذ أرجو دعاءكم يا شيخ ومنذ تنصحوني في هذا الأمر تجب بالعربية يا شيخ. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. إن شاء الله أنا سوف أتحدث معكم باللغة العربية لكن ليس اليوم لأن أكثر المشاهدين لا يعلمون هذه اللغة. Can I finance a car with a little APR interest? If not, how can we pay monthly insurance with interest? So insurance is not allowed. It's only necessary because due to necessity, because the kind of law of the land or necessity. And car financing is absolutely not a necessity because you can always buy a car. Right? You can buy a cheaper car. So that's why APR would not be allowed. Aisha Ustad, why has Allah made people so different? Sorry, that's a bit of a deep question because I think person's company affects a person. Definitely, good question. I don't know that question. Allah knows. Allah knows best. Yeah, but people are different. Some people have. I think the thing you have to remember is everyone comes from different background. Everyone's gone through things in their life that others have not gone through. So depending on what you go through in your life, the hardships and the pains and the easy times, and someone's born in a rich family, someone's born in a poor family, someone's born with terminal illness, and someone's born without any major illnesses, and someone lives a life where they've got lots of opportunities, and someone lives a life where they have less opportunities. Someone lives a life where they've been abused. Someone lives a life where they've never seen abuse. All these things play a role in creating a person's mindset and how their character. So I think we need to remember that everyone comes from different places. I'm in the process of buying a house. Everything is going agreed. I've got the money for the deposit, but my zakat time is coming up. What do I do? You have to give zakat on it. Unless you have come into an agreement with a seller, then you have to give zakat on it. Can we use one hand to move our child into place during prayer for it? Or yeah, inshallah. If it's just one hand, if it's just not too many movements. Hassan, regarding qasas, is the goal to do tarkib for every sentence lughawi? No. Tarkib, the book is not meant to be for tarkib. Right? So look, Arabic language, the whole point of studying Arabic language, linguistic side of it, is for you to get familiar with Arabic sentences. That's all it is. Qasas al-Nabiyyin should be taught to break down the words and to explain the sentences. That's all. That's all it is. To do tarkib and all of that, I don't think it's a good book for that. Unless you're studying it at a higher level and then you studied a bit of nahu, quite a bit of nahu, and then you want to apply a bit of it as tamreen. But otherwise, no. So reading Qasas al-Nabiyyin should be like how kids in school read storybooks. That's what it should be like. The storybook, you go through the storybook with your teacher, you get stuck on words, the teacher explains those words, and then you go through it like that. Just nicely go through the book. And then get the students to write. So you should be writing with qasas. So after every so many pages of stories, you should, in your own words now, write. Your teacher should make questions for you in qasas. And then you answer those questions, comprehension. So for example, Man kasar al-asnam? Then you write, kasar al-asnam, Ibrahim. Limada kasar al-asnam? Kasar al-asnam. So yeah, so like that. So I've got a qasas series which I'm still in the process of doing it, and I upload it for my patrons. Yeah, that's how I teach qasas. That's how. If you want to do a little bit of tarkib, that's fine. One sentence of tarkib, yeah, just so that you keep the students engaged, that's totally fine. But doing it full tarkib, I don't think that's wise, because that's not the purpose of the book. Can I say jazakallah instead of saying the whole thing? inshallah. As long as you don't say jazk, say jazakallah khair. But I do mean when you're typing it. Can women say salam to non-mahram men? So the Hanafis basically say that if there is a fear of fitna, as in this is going to lead to something bad, there's a very good chance then they shouldn't say it. Sorry, I've been saying salam. Salam is fine. So I am 20th year old and I wish to start Quran. How can I start? I have no khone lagig. I don't know what that means. Khone lagiga? I don't know what that means. So I've got a series. Go on my YouTube channel, my brother Sayyid, and check out my series called Learning How to Read the Quran. And in there, inshallah, you can learn how to read it. How long should one take to complete each volume of Qasas? As quick as possible. If you can read Qasas yourself and explain it to your teacher, you'd probably finish the book very quick. Yeah, so that's what I do. Sometimes when I teach students, I get them to read it. They explain it to me, and then I correct any mistakes they've got, and then I ask them like random questions. So it all depends upon how long it would take, I would say. The idea is you go through Qasas. By the end of Qasas, you should be familiar with the vocab of Qasas. You should be familiar with the expressions. You should be able to answer questions in Arabic. If I am fasting and I have mucus in my throat and cough, and my mucus is coughed up and the tip of my throat, where I can either no, it doesn't valid. Your fast is valid, inshallah. We have come to an agreement with the seller. We agreed on the price. Yes, that's fine then. Then you don't have to give zakat on it, unless the agreement falls, right? So it doesn't go through, and then if it doesn't go through, then you'd have to give zakat because you didn't go into a sale. SC1 alaikum assalam. Do you have any advice on note-taking method? My process of handwriting are very time-consuming and it makes my progression slower. So it all depends on what I'm actually doing. What is the whole point of making notes? The whole point of making notes is that when a person reads something or attends a lesson, they want to retain the important bits. What are the important bits of that lesson that you want to make a note of? What are the important bits of that book you want to do? It's not going to be everything, because a lot of things you're going to understand. You just want to make a note of those things which are new to you. So you just want to make a note of those. Otherwise, if you want to make a note of everything and just rewrite the whole transcript of the talk or of the book, then it's really kind of too time consuming for that. So I would say and sometimes you want to make a note of too many things, and that's also a bad thing as well. So if you're reading a book, just make a note of one or maximum 2 things per page, whatever you're reading, like that. And then some notes, you might not have to write it down. You can maybe just draw a drawing, shorthand. You might just do like something that's memorable to you. How can we pray with a baby in our hands? Right. So if you've got a baby in your hands, you just hold it. Yeah. So imagine this is a baby. Imagine this is my mic. And this is a baby. So you just hold the baby and you just carry on doing your salat. And then when you go into ruku, you hold the baby. When you go into sujood, if you can hold it, otherwise you put the baby on the side, like that. The argument stems from وَلَوْلَا دَخَلْتَ جَنَّةَ إِذْ قُلْتَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. Yeah, but that ayah does not say which one to say. Yeah, the ayah doesn't say that. That's the thing. I've heard that scholars should memorize books. Does this mean commit each word to memory? Usually, yes, word for word. And if you can't do that, then in your own words. Yeah. How many and what other books were you reading aside from Qasas during your studies? So in my studies, when I was studying in madrasa, we studied 6 books in 1 year. 6 books in 1 year. Yeah. So 6 books, and they were like Nahu and Sarf, Fiqh, Tajweed, and Qasas, and that was it. That's all we had. I have heard from some Pakistani friends that in Europe and West, muftis have given fatwa to buy one home for self-usage on loan is... Yes. If there is a dire need for it, if there's no other way of being able to, and the person really needs a home, yeah. They use this verse as a basis to say one should only use mashallah for one's own blessing, and I use Allah Mubarak for others. Allah Alam. Again, I like, in order for, like, we have to remember, in order for, when it comes to du'as, we have to hear a du'a from the Prophet ﷺ to say when to use it. We can't like deduce our own du'as. Yeah, so if the Prophet ﷺ has said it anywhere, let's say Allah Mubarak or say mashallah, that's what we follow. Now, if you can ask them for a hadith, not just something that they've derived, so then that would make it easy. Yeah. Yeah, so you can say Barakallahu laka fihi or MashaAllah. Ustad, any advice about how to maintain a good attitude when traveling, considering that the culture is different at the place of visiting? Yeah, I think a lot of people get culture shock when they see certain places and they go certain places. It's good to travel. It slowly opens you up. I think traveling is very good for people. It opens people up. It makes people appreciate various cultures and different backgrounds people come from. Yeah. You can speak in Urdu. Ji. Yes. When you type it, could you just type Jazakallah? Yes, inshallah. I will do the Umrah in Ramadan, inshallah. I wanted to ask, what is the best deed to do in Makkah during Ramadan? Tawaf. Tawaf is the best deed, inshallah. So what's your favorite dua recently? My favorite dua recently is Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. Upload Urdu lecture, inshallah, in the future. AMN, wa alaikum assalam, mashallah, long time, my brother, long time. I hope you're well. How to be a nicer person, generally speaking? I don't know. Ask nice people. As a part of Alimiya student, eventually wanting to go full-time at my madrasa in years' time, by what year of my studies would you say it's mandatory I know how to read Arabic without harakat? I would say probably year 3. By the end of year 3, you should be able to read Arabic texts without harakat. On my previous question on giving loan to friend, do I need to give zakat on a whole loan or just the profit I receive? So, are you giving a loan? So, if you're giving a loan to your friend, you can't make a profit from your loan. If it's a loan, you're not allowed to make if you're investing. So look, if you give me money as a loan, I'm going to give you that money back. Maybe a week later, a month later, a year later, whenever you want it back. But you can't make any profit from that. That's called interest, riba. That's not allowed. Wa alaikum assalam, yamna ahla wa sahlan. Our Imam for Tarawih prays very fast due to time constraints, and I miss out on the sunnahs like Thana and Durood Ibrahimi and Dua after Shad. Is this blameworthy? No, it's fine. Inshallah. Because of Tarawih. Scholars have given leeway in there. I think this is my weakness. One is write too many things as I find too many points important. No, so you need to control yourself. Just focus on, you have to be very selective in your points. Have you been making dua for us? Alhamdulillah, made dua for you guys. MashaAllah. Have you guys been making dua for me? Vibes, wa alaikum assalam. Qurati, I read Quran on my phone. I don't touch the Arabic as I include the English translation on the app, so I only touch the English part. Is this okay? I can't hold wudu for long. Inshallah. Inshallah. Most morning I tend to spit out blood. It takes a good 10 minutes of spitting go away. Sometimes at Fajr it takes too long. Can I still make wudu? Yes, inshallah. Can you suggest any Islamic book for teenagers? There's a series by Safar Academy. Check out Safar Academy. Safar Academy. Yeah, they've got some good ones. And there was one that I came across recently, which was, I think, is the Muslim teenager or something. I don't know what it was called. Apparently, that's supposed to be quite good. Adam alaikum assalam. Just getting used to the new times. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Times, new times and the old times. Right, let's check out some. Okay, assalamu alaikum. I had a road cover on my car last year. I have generally not had to use it apart from 1 or 2 occasions where my battery died. I don't generally drive apart from daily errands. I intended to cancel it as I feel I have been great in work need of it, but I missed the date. I got automatically. Okay, so what's the question? So should I try to cancel it? Wassalam. Okay, next. Is there any recommended wazifa or similar help getting married? I don't know. Wassalam. Not sure. Not sure. I think just look for someone. That's the best wazifa to get married, is you have to go and look for someone. Okay, let's just check some more of these questions out. Okay, from another brother. I don't even know who you are. Someone's written from another brother. So, okay. Assalamu alaikum. I have a question. So there is a space Olympiad competition in my country and there is a prize for it. I'm not really concerned about the prize itself, but I want to ask to enter the competition. I need to pay a fee. Would it be haram gambling? So it depends what is the competition. These are hard competition exams. A lot of people participate in each, but only a few win. Potentially, yes. It's allowed. It doesn't come under gambling. So when you pay for something, as long as the main rule is, as long as the money that you're gonna get is not the money that you put into the what's it, and there's some sort of a skill they're testing you on. Alaikum salam. Please, can you advise us on this? How can men within the family ensure they fulfill being present for their family while having positions in the community? This Ramadan, my father is very focused on a new community project because others are not pulling their weight. We are grown up now, but my siblings are focused on their own lives. Even though we're in the same house, past years, my father used to check up on us if we were reading Quran, doing khatam, doing Taraweeh, and now I see my siblings slacking. I've been holding this thought myself. Okay. So the question is, how can men within the family ensure they fulfill? So I would say generally what the person needs to do is to try and, throughout the year maintain some sort of a Islamic ethos in the house. Try to maintain Islamic ethos in the house, not just Ramadan. So this is the problem, is when you wait for just Ramadan, then if people are not usually used to reading Quran throughout the year or going to the mosque throughout the year, and then you just want them in Ramadan, you're not really going to be expecting, you're not really going to getting much results from that. Okay. What is a simple and easy to understand Arabic shara one should have for Mishkat al-Masabih? Here are some. Let me show you some good ones. Ta'liq al-Sabih is a very good one. Ta'liq al-Sabih. Okay. I don't know if it's available PDF, but I used to read that when I was studying. I used to read Ta'liq al-Sabih. Ta'liq al-Sabih. Okay, no, I can't find it. Yeah, so I'll just put it here. Ta'liq al-Sabih. Ta'liq al-Sabih is very nice. It's short, it's easy. Can non-mahram men give salam to non-mahram women if there is no fitna? I think we answered that earlier. If there is a possibility of fitna or this is going to lead to, then they should be avoided. For rada'a to be established, does the baby need to drink milk directly from the breast or can it be expressed? Expressed. Yeah, so as long as the baby drinks the milk of whatever shape and form the milk comes in, as long as it's milk and it goes down the throat, then rada'a is established. Okay, what does the Quran say about breastfeeding and pregnant women during Ramadan? Is it fard upon them to fast? The hadith mentions they can make up the fasts. later. The scholars say that this is if she finds it too hard. Okay. Wa alaikum assalam, Adam. Just getting used to that. Are du'as from weak hadith considered to be sunnah or mustahab? Depends how weak they are. It depends how weak they are. They usually are just mustahab. If they're very weak, then no, avoid them. Is Iblis locked up in Ramadan? Not that I know of. Sheikh, I meant earlier, what books aside from qasas in your earlier years in your studies were you reading for reading and comprehension? Yeah, so my first year, I'll tell you my first year I studied qasas, sarf, nahu, tajweed. There's a tajweed book that we studied, and fiqh. Six subjects we studied. So I don't know what you mean by early years. That's in the earliest year, the first year that I studied. If jinn and shaitan locked up, no, they're not locked up. When Prophet peace be upon him did Tarawih, did he do on own or in congregation? On his own. Zakir Ali wa alaikum assalam. Is it possible to self-read Al-Quduri by myself alongside other faqih books? Possibly, yeah, possibly, but you won't. So the problem is you won't gain faqahat in it. You won't gain the skill of fiqh. You'll just understand what the text's saying, but you won't. It's like, for example, imagine you watch a carpenter build, I don't know, a shed. You won't gain the skill of carpentry, but you'll know exactly how it's done. How are you? I'm very good. Thank you very much. Ahlan wa sahlan. Halwest Khalil. Hassan, wa alaikum salam. I've heard a rule that throughout your Dars in Nizami, you should aim to 100 books in Arabic outside your studies. I have never come across that. But it'd be good if you do that. Fantastic. Excellent. My wife went in the Umrah group with a Salafi Imam. He gave a lot of concessions. Once we got married, she found the Hanafi madhab overly difficult. How can I explain? I don't know. Wallahu alam. Just need to maybe make some food for her or something and explain it over candlelit dinner. Is Tarawih compulsory? I mean, as long as she's a good person, as she's following some sort of fiqh, and then it's fine. You don't have to force Hanafi madhab down anyone's throat. Is Tarawih compulsory? What happens if you miss all Tarawih? Are you sinful? If Tarawih are not compulsory, but the person, Sahaba did it. And, this is something which, if you want to get close to Allah, you do more ibadah in Ramadan, then it just makes sense to do it. Right? To try and get out of it and just say, no, it's not necessary to do. You're literally cutting corners in Ramadan, which isn't a good thing. Will you be sinful? If you do it in a way that's making it, belittling it, then yes, you'll be sinful. Otherwise, no. Have you come across the online Al-Azhar uni? No, I'm not. I haven't come across that. Bridge to tell you, alaikum assalam, was looking forward to this short dua for serious abdomen pain and disease cramps. I don't know, You can Google it. What I always suggest you do, go into Google and type in du'as from hadith about pain, and you'll come up with several du'as. Yeah. What books do you recommend to do tarkeeb of, if not qasas, ya Sheikh? So I would say if you want to do tarkeeb has to be done with, tarkeeb has to be built up. You have to build up tarkeeb. So I've got a whole series on quick tarkeebs, right, where I go through small little sentences. You need to build it up. So your Nahu teacher should be going through, for example, like Zad al-Talibin is a good book to use. Zad is a very nice book for tarkeeb practice. Lots and lots. Or for example, Sharmi al-Ta'amil, you can practice tarkeeb in there as well. Yeah, that's a very nice one as well. You can even practice tarkeeb in the Nahu book that you're studying. If you're studying Hidayat al-Nahu, you can practice it in there as well, apply in there. The main thing is trying to get your teacher to give you examples related to the particular lesson that you've done, and then you can do the tarkeebs of that. The main reason why you do tarkeebs is two things. Number one is you want to understand whether your Nahu is solid. Number two is for Quran. That's the main thing. Hansa wa alaikum salam. Are we supposed to say Alhamdulillah after burping, or no? So it's not. It's Alhamdulillah is for all times, right? Whether you burp or whether you don't. It's not specific to burping. Second question. Is it okay for layman to attend the Salafi masjid as it is more cleaner than the masjids? Yes, no problem. Can you use zakat money to charity for sponsor? depending on what the charity is for. What is the charity for? Are you giving to poor but also advertising your business? If you're going to use that, all the zakat money has to go to the poor. As long as all of the zakat money is going to the poor, whether you advertise your business or not, it doesn't matter. Jami'at Ahl Hadith Mosque is okay for normal salah? Fine, inshallah. No problem. As long as you trust them. Wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Speak to you again. Take care. Said, I'm Indian. I love your lecture, but I'm only speaking Hindi and Urdu. So it's your lecture to understand very difficult. No problem about that. No problem. Inshallah, maybe in the future. What's the best English Quran tafsir recommend? There's no such thing as a best tafsir. There's no as a best Quran English Quran tafsir. What I would suggest is an easy one to read would be like Noble Quran by Mufti Taqi Usmani. It's very easy to read. It's got footnotes on there as well. When visiting a person who has lost a family member, what things can be said to comfort them? I think this differs from person to person. I, in the past, used to find it very hard. I find it very difficult to be able to express my emotions to people. Like as a man, men generally find it hard anyway. And when people used to pass away, I find it very difficult. What do I say to them? Yeah. So then slowly over time, you learn what to say in these situations. What generally is people just want someone to hear them. That's it. They just want to know that you're there for them. Don't explain anything to them. Don't explain why they lost their loved one, or don't explain to them anything like that. Right? Just listen to what they say, make dua for them, make sure they know that you're there for them. Yeah, that's the main thing that you should always remember. Yeah, try not to solve problems. You're not a problem solver. So you might be very analytical. You might be thinking, I'm going to deal with it in a very analytical, quote some hadith to them, quote some ayats to them. No, don't do that. Just make dua, inna lillahi wa raji'un, make dua for them and listen to what they say. My grandfather doesn't fast. Can he pay his fidya for 30 days at one go? Yes, as long as he gives it to, obviously, the poor. No, you can do it at the beginning of the month. It can be paid through an agent, organization, fine, totally fine. As long as they know that it's supposed to go to poor. Is house and holiday insurance haram? Technically, it's not allowed. Theoretically, it's not allowed. It may be permitted depending on circumstances. Like, for example, if in the law of the land you have to get it, or you're traveling and most likely if there's some illness or some problem occurs, you're going to find it very hard to be able to pay for the fees. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go off Insta in a bit. Can one read Mujawwad style similar to Abbas's slow in Taraweeh? Yes, why not? Yeah, as long as the people behind have got the sabr for it. That's what I'll tip. Next time I encounter them, I'll try to ask for a hadith reference on the note. Do you possibly have a hadith in mind that backs our POV? I only know the 2 verses. Yeah, they are hadith. I'll have to check. The hadith is can't think of. If you send me an email in the week time and when I get a chance, because there's a hadith. Yeah, this is the hadith. The hadith is Tafsir Ibn Kathir mentions it under the same verse. Yeah, قال رسول الله ما أنعم الله عز وجل على عبد نعمة. Allah has never given a person any ni'mah of family or wealth or children, and he says ما شاء الله قوة إلا بالله فيرى في آفة دون الموت, that he'll be protected from any difficulties or any problem regarding it. Yeah, and there's another one which says that this is in can't see what book it's in. العين حق ولولا كان الشيء سابق القدر لسبقته العين وإذا استغفر هلا إذا رأيت ما يعجبك بركت فيقول ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله. Yeah, so there's hadith regarding. If you send me in the week, if you send me an email, if I get time, inshallah, I'll try to respond. Otherwise, these kind of questions that are not related to Ramadan, I usually will answer them after Ramadan. Shaykh, is there any way on our time who has memorized kutub hadith sanad? Like, yes, yeah, it's possible. There's many in the Arab world. You can just, all you have to do is just go to YouTube and type in Hafidh of Sihah Sitta, and you'll find lots of people there, men and women. I struggle concentrating Tarawih. I prefer to pray at home with my wife. I complete all 20s. Okay, yes, that's fine. Is the national lottery haram? Yes. Is insurance claims haram? If you claim more than what you have, it all depends on the situation. But technically, if you claim more than what you deserve from the premiums that you've been paying, then it wouldn't be allowed. Abiha wa alaikum assalam. I pray you are well. If a woman performed Umrah twice whilst menstruating, she was unaware, she realized respectively that it was classed as legal blood. Would there be a dam? Yes, she has to give them. If she did that, and there's two, then she'd have to give a dam for each one. What I would suggest is that the woman, if it's yourself, get your situation checked out with a scholar, just to be perfectly correct, right? Otherwise, you might be paying dam but theoretically, what I'm saying to you is, if a woman is menstruating and she does Umrah and she does a tawaf, the main thing is tawaf, isn't it? The tawaf in that state, then she has to give them. Right, where and when to start making one's daughter Hafiz? Allah knows best. I don't have any children. Anyone can help out with Tawsif. Is finishing Quran once a year not acceptable? What's the minimum? Yes, it's acceptable, inshallah. What is a Durr Sunniya? So this is basically a book which is a commentary of Al-Ajurumiyya. It's like similar to Hidayat al-Nahu, you can say. Alaikum assalam. I wanted to thank you because you were able to teach me how to recite the Quran. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for your kind, beautiful du'as. May Allah bless you. Means a lot to me, guys, when you guys give me feedback on the videos and make dua for me as well. Can you eat and drink after you prayed Fajr at home, like before the Fajr Jamaat in the mosque? So if the Fajr time hasn't started yet, you can eat as much as you like. Once Fajr time starts, then you cannot eat. Is it possible to be enrolled in the online course at your masjid? So far, I live in Birmingham, though I don't know. You'll have to. I don't deal with the online, so you'll have to speak to those who are in charge of the online. So if you contact info@sofa.org, they'll be able to give you a better answer. So I don't deal with that department. I'm confused. What do you mean? As long as I trust them, or referring to Jamia? Yeah, as long as you trust your local imams, it's fine. And then if you don't trust your imams, if you think that these people are coming out with things which are deviant or things like that, then don't pray behind them. But if you trust them, then pray behind them. Jazakallah khair. May Allah increase. Ameen. Ameen. Bridge to eternity. Other than dates, what do you have for iftar? May I ask. I have fruit, lots of fruit. Yeah, I love fruit when I have iftar. So dates, fruit. I usually just have lots of fruit, and then after I've prayed Maghrib, then I have dinner. Wa alaikum. Other than Muhammad, wa alaikum assalam, my brother. Welcome to the Sunday club, to this nice Sunday club that we have. Is it allowed to say MashaAllah or its translation to apparent good non-Muslims as means of da'wah, for instance? Yes, of course. POV, point of view. Oh, I see. I've always seen that word POV. You're welcome, Nadeem. Ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam. If one forgets a fard behind the imam, how is that made up? Say in the first rakat, one only did one sajda, and now we have reached the final tashahhud. So you just do that sajda, and then you do that sajda, make it up. Now that does the follower do here? Yeah. So you basically have to make up what the imam did. You wouldn't have to say this out. Missing the vlogs, maybe do one. Yeah, I know. I need to make a vlog, inshallah. I've actually got a lot of videos I made. I just need to put them together, editing. It's just like I've been very busy this Ramadan. For some reason, this Ramadan has just been hectic. Like really, a lot of people have passed away. So I've been a lot involved in visiting people and going to the graveyard. And then, it's just also, I mean, weird. The short fasts are shorter, and I thought I'd get more done, but it's just no barakah. I think you guys need to make dua for me. I'll get loads of barakah. Is it permissible to follow an unpopular opinion, especially when the opinion makes more logical sense to you? Only if you've checked it by a scholar. If there's an unpopular opinion, go and check it by a scholar. And as long as he's happy with it, then you can follow it. Wa alaikum assalam. Ahla wa sahlan TMZ. Loving your Taraweeh reminders. Ahla wa sahlan. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. You're welcome. You're welcome. How have you been, TMZ? How's your fasting going? Waheed, alaikum assalam. Can we use Quran on mobile or Mus'haf to read and lead family Taraweeh? According to Hanafis, no. According to Hanafis, no. I've actually got a video on this that I made. Other madhabs have some leeway in that, but not Hanafis. Send you an email. Ahlan wa sahlan. If one prays Taraweeh alone, is it okay to take a nap, sleep in between? One becomes very tired. Yes, of course. You can break down your Taraweeh. According to Hanafis, the Taraweeh is called rest. So between every 4 rakats, there should be a duration of how long you took in the 4 rakats. Yeah. So if you took 20 minutes in the 4 rakats, then the gap should be about 20 minutes. That's what Taraweeh classically was. When are you becoming Maliki? One day, inshallah. I don't know when a Maliki is going to become Hanafi. That's the thing. I'm too in love with Hanafi madhab at the moment. Once that honeymoon period fades away. Can you also expand on the terms ijma and qiyas? Not now, my brother. So if it can be related, if it can be possibly after Ramadan, these kind of questions. Try to focus more on questions that are related to. Because these are quite deep questions and it requires a lot of explanation. I'd rather answer questions that are shorter. I've actually got a course. If you want to do that course, my brother Nadeem, it's a £70 course. It's on usul fiqh on my uruq.com, inshallah. And in there, I discuss ijma and qiyas in a lot of detail. I've heard ad-durr sunniyah is a hadith sharh. It might be, I might be wrong. I might be wrong here. Let me have a check. I don't know, I might be wrong. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, there's several durr sunniyas. Yeah, there's several of them. Following up from menstruation question, what would be the dam for obligatory tawaf? It's a camel. Depends what, no, so if it's umrah, it's a goat. Yeah. And it's not radd al-mukhtar, it's radd al-muhtar. There's no kha in there, it's ha. Yeah, so she gives basically 2 goats. She gets slaughters 2 goats. Camels are only when it comes to Hajj. How can we continue to support Palestine places of oppression in addition to making dua? This is clearly daylight, they're oppressors. Yeah. So any organization, inshallah, tonight I'm going to be on live radio, Unity FM. I'm going to be collecting for Gaza, specifically for people of Gaza. And mashallah, Sufa Institute has people on the ground, and the donations are getting to the people of Gaza, alhamdulillah. So I know there's some people spreading rumors saying no one's wealth is getting into Gaza. I think a lot of that is just exaggeration. So I wouldn't take that seriously. But alhamdulillah, Sufa stuff is getting in. Like, that's something that Sufa can vouch for. I'm asking only as it was a mistake, so I wasn't sure if dam was applied. You're welcome. SA, alaikum salam. I hope you're well. How does one go about making up years of missed fasts? Is it required to feed a poor person for each day and make it up? So if you missed years of fast, you just make up the fasts. You don't pay anything. Yeah, you just make them up. So if you miss, let's say, 5 years of fasts, you make up 5 years of fasts. When does one do sajda, after salams or before? Before the salam. Yeah. If one reaches the masjid while the imam is in the final tashahhud, do you join the imam in his final sitting, or do you wait for the closing salam and pray alone? So you join him straight away. So if you do attend the masjid and the imam has started his salat, whichever position he's in, you join him. Sorry about the reference. I believe that was the incorrect book from the website. Okay. No problem. And no need to apologize. Don't worry about it. Will a 60 fast kafara cover the 5 years of fast missed? No. Kafara is only if a kafara is there if you break a fast deliberately without any excuse at all. You break a fast without any excuse at all. That's just for that. If you've missed fast, you have to make up each one of those fasts. You have to make up each one of those fasts. So if you missed 5 years of fast, that's 30 times 5, basically. Right? So, you've got to make them all up in your life. As long as you make them all up before you die. If one is a latecomer and he makes a mistake whilst behind the imam, does one do sajda sahu? Yes. In that situation, I would say he does sajda sahu because now technically he can actually he can actually pray his own salat after the salam. So he's liable to that. I was told that if I have qada fast, I can do kafarat. No, that's not Hanafi madhab. I don't know which madhab that is. I've never come across that. What about if after Imam gives salam and one is making up rak'ah and makes an error? Would this require sahu? Well, if after Imam gives salam, one is making up rak'ah, yes. So if you are a masbuq, as in you're going to get up after the Imam, then you do make sajda sahu if you made a mistake. How many rak'ahs did Imam Malik do for Taraweeh? I don't know. But in the Maliki madhab, there is a position of 36 rak'ats. Kam ahl wa sahla, my brother. To my understanding, alaikum assalam, hope you're well. If one is continuously bleeding from a wound or injury or infection, it is permissible to make wudu and to pray regardless of bleeding as it is out of your control. So why would you bandage it up, patch it up, and then carry on doing your wudu, inshallah. And so I've been told since I was a child that Iblis and all the evil jinns are imprisoned during Ramadan. Is that wrong? In the hadith, it mentions maradatu shayateen, rebellious shayateen. This shayateen is a whole world, isn't it? There's a whole world of shayateen out there. And there's some of them who are really rebellious, like the Zionist shayateen. Their effect has been weakened in Ramadan. This is described as being locked up. Some say this hadith is haqiqat and some say it's majaz. There's a big discussion about this hadith itself. I think a lot of Pakistanis, they like the whole idea that shaitan is locked up, and Iblis is locked up, and everyone, all of his whole family and his in-laws and everyone, they're all locked up, right? And that I still have not found any hadith that says that. In Janazah prayer, why do Hanafis do 2 closing salams and others do 1? Because of hadith. Yeah, hadith regarding all that. They don't believe Prophet being part Noor or made from Noor, and they don't. Yeah, it's fine, inshallah. What do you say about using Hadiyya al-A'iyya instead of Noor Idha for a beginner? Yes, very good. Yeah, but again, I personally would say this after I spoke to Sheikh Salah al-Hajj, that first of all, start off with Quduri. Very, very important to build. You want to build up the mind of the student and not just give him the information. You want to layer the masail for him, right? So you start off with the core foundational masail, and then you build up and up and up and up like that. Otherwise, if you start off with Noor Idha, things like that, what can happen to a student is you've bombarded them with so many masalas. When they go back to Quduri, they can't understand where these things that are not mentioned in Quduri all come from. It gets quite confusing for them. So that's why I kind of changed my view on that. Mufti, can you give the ruling on swallowing food particles while fasting? I've heard as long as it's smaller than chickpea, then it's okay. So if you've just finished eating at Sehri time and you try to wash your mouth out and you got little bits left, and then an hour, 2 hours later you swallowed something very small, it's okay. Your fast will not break. Since it was written لِتَلَامِيذ مَكَاتِبْ ibtida'iyah. Yeah. So the thing is this: if you want to just study Hadiyya al-A'iyya on its own, like just as a fiqh book, and you don't want to progress in other books, that's fine. If you just want to study Noor Idha, like let's say for example you've got kids, you're teaching them Noor Idha, and they're not really going to go advanced into any other book, you just stick with Noor Idha, that's fine. Excellent. Start with that book. But if you plan on studying advanced books afterwards, I would say it probably might cause you some confusion, which you're gonna end up having to, uneducate yourself from some of those masail. What are the proofs for 20 rakats, and why do Salafis? So There's a whole book that's written by Sheikh Ali Sabuni, the late Ali Sabuni. He's written lots of evidences. There's literally an ijma of the early scholars, the four madhabs of 20 rakats. Of there being 20 rakats. So that's what the evidences are. Yeah. And I'm sure if you go online, Google, and you type in evidence for 20 rakats, you'll come across lots of statements and quotes from scholars. But this is what the problem is, because there was an early scholars have always been praying 20. Even in Haramain and Aqsa for so many years, it's been 20, 20, 20, 20. That shows that this has been something which has been recognized by the Ummah as being the way that Tarawih should be prayed. And if you read in the books, that's what you'll find. Read all the fiqh books, that's what you'll find. Of course, no one says praying less than 20 won't be accepted. But this new idea of 8 rakats, you don't find it in the four madhabs. You don't find four madhabs promoting the 8 rakat thing. This is like a new thing people from Saudi have kind of pushed as Salafis. What about the trucks lined up that are waiting to get into Gaza? Yeah, so I think, see what happens is, because there's so many people around the world that are trying to do things, some people are doing things without having people on the ground. What you have to understand is the way charities work. If I'm a charity and you give me money, and I try to go and deliver the money to people myself, and I don't have any contacts there, most likely, and this unfortunately happens, do not give your money to a charity organization that does not have people on the ground or partners on the ground. Because what that will happen, most likely your money will not get to them. That's for everything, whether it's Gaza, Kashmir, Rohingya, or whether it's Rwanda, anywhere. This is the sad reality. So you need to be very careful. And that's what happens in these places. A lot of these kind of goods and things that get there, they don't have people on the ground. Alhamdulillah, Sufa has people on the ground. GRT has people on the ground. Ummah Welfare Trust has people on the ground. IF has people on the ground. So there are people out there. I know there's guys making videos saying nothing's getting, and they're showing videos. But what they're showing is those people who don't have any way of getting their stuff on the ground. Yeah, alaikum salam. I know somebody who comes from a Shia background and is practicing, but is not really aware of the differences between Sunni and Shias. How would one go about giving them da'wah? So, just Quran. The main thing is bring everyone back to the Quran. Teach them what the Quran is about. Teach them about the life of the Prophet ﷺ. That is the main thing that you want to. Because remember, Shiaism is basically something extra that's been added on after the Quran and Sunnah. That's really what it is. So just try to bring them back to the seerah, about the life of the Sahaba. Is sajda sahud done after the shahud or durud? So after the shahud. I've heard from a student of knowledge that if one is praying alone, you do it after durud. I haven't come across that. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, Hamza, my brother. Mia Ahmed, welcome. During ghusl, can one assume water has reached, or does one have to actively wash certain hidden? No, as long as you have poured water everywhere and most likely it's reached, it's fine. Hanafi say that we should make up missed rakats of the past in one sitting. We should make up missed Ramadans of the past in one sitting? 29, 30 days in one go? No, Hanafis don't say that. You're welcome, Amina. What is the different definition of the science of ilm al-lugha or fiqh al-lugha, and do you need to study it? In a nutshell, it's simply just like a breakdown of the words, of what each word means and the different application. That's what it is. That's what fiqh al-lugha is. So, for example, the word break, smash, shatter, tear, demolish, all these words have a subtle different meaning. So what fiqh al-lugha does, it tells you what each of these words would mean, obviously in the Arabic language. And do you need to study it? I would say you don't need to study it per se, but you need to be familiar with all the differences in words. If you want to be very good at Quran exegesis, or you want to be good at shi'r, poetry. Is Tafsir Sa'di okay to read? I mean, I haven't read all of it. I've read sections of it. I don't see anything wrong with it. I've been told it's okay, excellent. Yeah, read it. Is it possible to self-study Quduri from your videos, or do you recommend? You can self-study in the videos, it's fine. But what I would say at the end of it is get yourself tested. Ask a scholar or someone to test you on it, even if you pay them. Say, look, can you test me on this? So that your understanding is correct. Because you might be following everything, but you don't know if your understanding is correct. Does a pregnant woman need to fast? Yes. unless she finds it very difficult. Ibi wa alaikum assalam, hope you're good. Welcome, my brother. Do we use 18 degrees Fajr or 15 degrees Fajr? Use whatever your local mosque is doing, my brother. Yeah, whatever your local mosque is doing. Does Islam say a man is superior to a woman in any sense over a woman? No. Men are not superior to women in any way. There's no hadith or no ayah to say that men are superior to women. Yes, men have been given certain virtues over women because of responsibilities they've had. But to say they are superior as in women are less than them, no. Would it be better for me to pray at home, Jama'at 20 rakats, rather than going to my local masjid that does 8? Up to you, my brother. If you want to go to the mosque and pray 8 and then make up the 12, that might be better. Is Taraweeh in Jama'ah superior to at home? Hanafi say both are considered. Hanafi say it's mustahab to pray in Jama'ah. Mustahab. So therefore, praying it on your own is allowed. And Imam Tahawi's position on this is that praying on your own is actually better. Yeah. So that's why the Hanafis don't have a problem with you praying Taraweeh at home. My Ramadan is going very well, my brother. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Can't complain. As you can see, got this top. Guys, I'm gonna put up the details for this top. Anyone wants to get these kind of tops? Yeah, mashallah, I was wearing this today, and a lot of people were trying to read what he was saying. I'll give you the details. This is one of my friends who started a business in London, and he's selling them. So alhamdulillah, I said, I'll promote each other. If you guys have got businesses that are good, inshallah, send it to me, inshallah, the business details, and I will also, because Ramadan, I will also put your business up, inshallah. If it is good, we give attention to Palestine. However, what are your thoughts on us Muslims forgetting our brothers and sisters? I don't think we're forgetting them. Are you forgetting them, my brother? I think the thing we have to remember is what is at the moment, what is like really happening at the moment. Right, so at the moment, Gaza is the main thing that's really happening at the moment. And without a doubt, in Kashmir, in Rohingya, and all these places, there are people, and people are collecting for them. As-Sufa, mashallah, is collecting for various organizations. JRT is connecting, Ummah Welfare is connecting, even for the Uyghurs. But I think at the moment, because this is the main thing that are people. So I don't think they're forgetting them, brother. I think that maybe there's not much attention. So maybe you should raise attention. So if there's a particular cause that you wanna raise for. Follow-up question on Taraweeh. Is the statement of there being not a fixed amount of rakat for Taraweeh correct, or is only... Yeah, so there isn't a fixed amount from the Prophet ﷺ. We don't have a fixed amount from him. But we have fixed amounts that have been recorded by the Sahaba and later generations. So like 20 rakats being a regular. So the 36 is not all Taraweeh. That's the thing. It's 20 rakats is the Taraweeh, but in between... So every time they used to have a rest. So in between all the rests, they would pray extra rakats. And then when you add them all up, right? So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, you have your 20, yeah? And in between each one, they'd pray 4 extra ones on their own. And the people of Makkah would do tawaf. So that doesn't mean that... So there was 20, clearly there was 20. If there's 36 has 20 in there, doesn't it? But this was just something extra they used to pray as well. Do we have to pray 20 rakats, or are there any other opinions? So, look, the thing is, if you want to pray according to how the early generation prayed, then 20 rakats is the way to do it. If you can't pray 20, if you find it too hard, then pray as much as you can. So Imam Tahawi would say it's better to pray 20 at home by myself. Yes, Imam Tahawi's position that was. Not by yourself. He wasn't talking about you, Qurti. So Hadith, Sheikh Akram. Can I use fabric softener, or must I contact the firm to confirm whether it's najis? No, you can use it, my brother. It's totally fine. Is Kitab al-Sunnah authentic attribute of Imam Ahmad? I don't know. I have no idea. All right, guys, we are going to stop there, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much. So, okay, one more question. I can't fast because of the kidney issue. I'm able to fast a few days, but not all. I was told to feed hungry. So what you can do is, can you make those fasts up at another time in the year? If you can make them at another time in the year, then you must make them then. If you totally can't, So whatever a number of fasts you can make them up now, and then later on you make them up, and then otherwise you give fidya. Okay, so I'm going to go off. Go off Insta. Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. A woman got her period end just 10 days before she finds her cycle getting regulated since there was a long gap and she was breastfeeding. Since there with 10 pure days, should she consider? Okay, so send email to. So these kind of questions, it's not very easy to explain. You need to look at the details. So send the email. Okay, Ustad alaikum assalam. My family has visited Morocco. Okay, that one there. Okay, so yes, we must send durood on the Prophet ﷺ, but how would you answer an objection that why do we send durood on the Prophet ﷺ? Of course, Allah is protecting him. He's the messenger and the guaranteed Jannah. It may benefit us, but not him. Okay, so this is a good question. Why do we send salutation to the Prophet ﷺ when the Prophet ﷺ has been guaranteed Jannah and all of his mistakes are all wiped out? So what we have to understand is, why do we send praise to Allah? Why do we praise Allah? Why do we do dhikr? All of these questions, and the answer comes back to the same thing, which is that this is all part of our strengthening our faith. Like faith is, what you have to understand is, look, Iman is what? Your belief in Allah. That's faith, that is, and everything that comes with it. All of these things Allah has given us, like salat and reading Quran and sending salutation to the Prophet ﷺ, all of this strengthens our faith in Islam. And by us sending salutation to the Prophet ﷺ, there are many wisdoms behind this. And one obviously is that when we read it, we benefit ourselves, and it strengthens the religion, because when we're making dua for the Prophet ﷺ, we're ultimately making dua that the Prophet ﷺ's sunnah, his teachings become strengthened around the world. And then we work towards, like for example, imagine you're a child and you make dua for your parents, right? One is you make dua for your parents, you obviously want them to have the best in this world and the hereafter. But also by making dua for your parents, you're ingraining inside yourself the love of your parents, the honor of your parents, the respect you have. And all of this is part of being obedient to your parents as well. So there's like a whole massive sort of, you can say, like a blueprint of every single thing that fits into Iman. And everything that we do is actually part of that Iman. It's a manifestation of Iman at different levels. Would that be a legitimate position then for me? So like I said, you're allowed to pray at home, my brother, but it would be, according to the majority view, it would be more recommended for you to pray in jama'ah, which is totally fine, and you're doing it, which is fine. But you're just missing out on the completion of the Quran. That's all. So if you want to pray at home, that's fine, in jama'ah. What I would say, but like imagine this, okay, imagine there's two guys, and they both go through Ramadan, and one takes it very easy in Ramadan, and one really makes an effort in doing extra acts of worship. At the end of it, which one is going to benefit the most? The second one, isn't it? Now imagine these two guys for 10 years of their life and 20 years of their life and 30 years of their life. They have the same attitude towards Ramadan. The second guy is always going to excel. And that's what, as a Muslim, we have to try and do. Praying at home is fine. It's good. If you want to do that with your family, totally fine. But what you have to do is try to not make that your bar. Always try to make it more. That I want to do more. Especially as Ramadan is progressing and you're getting near the end of the last 10 days. You want to do as much as you can, more reading of Quran as you can, more dhikr as you can, staying away from sins more as much as possible. All of these things is to build your own currency of the akhirah. That's what it's all about. I actually saw a hadith mentioned Shaykh Fiqh Akbar, in which says the Prophet prayed 20 rakats. Okay, I don't know the authenticity of the narration. MashaAllah, 125k, MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair, Inshallah. Inshallah, with your du'as, guys, reached 125. Do you have to go bold? I think once you hit 100K, what happens is the algorithm kicks in more, and so your videos are shown to more and more people. So it's slow. That's why after 100K, more and more people are going to be sharing your videos, liking your videos, and then that has like a snowball effect. So more subscribers progressively increase. Do you have to go bald when you go to Umrah? No, you don't have to. You can cut your hair, so I can trim it. Since tawfiq is from Allah, do you believe in talent? Yes. Talent is also a gift from Allah. He gives some people a talent and He doesn't give others. Just like He gives some people wealth and He doesn't give others. He gives looks to someone. Doesn't give looks to someone. Alaikum assalam, arsalan, ahlan wa sahlan. Alaikum assalam. Hope everything is well. Very good, my brother. It feels Ramadan this year is passing quick. I know, it's very fast. Subhanallah. It's like zooming. Can you start a course on Nuzhat al-Nadar? I've actually got Nuzhat al-Nadar. I've got a course on my uruk.com. It's an audio course that I've done, pre-recorded. But maybe in the future I can do a visually pleasing one. But yeah, I've got one on my uruk.com. Gone through the whole Nuzhat al-Nadar. Alright guys, take care inshallah. I'm going to finish it there. I think I have answered all the questions that need to be answered. That is left on Curious Cat. Alright, so I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and make sure you share my videos. Also, I put up the link for my teacher's madrasa. Yeah, collecting for the madrasa. If any of you guys want to support that madrasa, please donate towards it. If you know anyone else that might be interested, share the link with them as well. This is my teacher who's very dear to me, and I've benefited so much from him. So if you can, that would be excellent. I really appreciate that. And saying that, take care everybody, all the people, the 54 of you guys who are on Twitter, and the 8 of you guys who are on YouTube, and the one who's on Facebook. I will see you guys next time inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi